Welcome to Mad Props. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Chris Schnabel, and today we have Kate Pentecost with us, author. She was at Comicpalooza. This is the first of the Comicpalooza interview series, we'll call it. And she's going to be the first one. So Kate joins us coming up shortly. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you being here. Before we get started, join the conversation. We now have a Discord. You can find social posts when they come out, episodes when they come out, and you can join the conversation overall. You can also see when new guests are coming onto the show. So I want to shout that out right in the beginning because that is what you're going to want to do. Join the Discord in the description now. Follow us on social at Mad Props Pod, wherever you get your social. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, whether you're on YouTube or not. Kate's going to be coming up in a minute. I am flying solo for the beginning of this, as I do on most episodes, but I will say future episodes we might have a co-host going forward doing this. We did sketching up last week. This week is just me. I did have a little bit of a fun idea that I wanted to throw out there, and I think I'm going to throw out there. I wanted to do a tier list. So I was watching The Lion King the other day. For anybody that hasn't seen it in a while, still an absolute banger of a movie. And that got the songs playing on my YouTube music because I guess I watched it, and now YouTube music is like, oh, that's what you like. So we will just continue to feed that to you. So the playlist has been weird recently. Like sometimes it'll be like real music, like Billy Joel. No, I shouldn't say real music, but like commercial music like Billy Joel or Michael Jackson or something like that. And then in between it'll be like The Lion King. And then after that it'll go back to like Michael Jackson. And then it'll be like something from Hamilton. And it's just very all over the place right now. I will say, fully will admit, when I run, I will listen to show tunes. I'll listen to musicals, things like that. It keeps me more on pace when I have to actually focus in on the music and listen to like what's going on rather than just kind of listening to something I've listened to a million times and let it take over like that. So that's just a little insight on me when I run. But anyway, so that song, Just Can't Wait to Be King, came on when I was running. Maybe want to watch The Lion King. And we watched it the other day, which gave me the idea for this, something kind of new that we haven't done before. So if you're watching, you can see what's going on. If you're listening, don't worry. I am a great play-by-play commentator, so you will know exactly what's going on the entire time. But for this one, I've decided I want to do a tier list. Shout out to the Jolly Olive, a channel I really like on YouTube. He does a lot of these tier lists. For us, it's going to be a little different because it's not baseball related. I wanted to do a tier list of fictional musicians. So if you're watching, my eyes might be drifting all over the place, but my voice will stay the same. So it's all good there. For this one, I had AI give me 12 random things. I know what they are already. I have not thought of where I'm going to place them yet, but I had to go find the images and stuff like that. But I let AI pick. I said, give me 12 really good ones that fit, me and my personality and then my podcast. Trust me, AI knows way more about me than it should. And this is what it spit out. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list because this is going to be really fun. Now, I am a harsh critic sometimes, but with this, I feel like I'm going to be a little soft. So I think I need to save, I don't know. I think I have to save certain tiers for certain moments. I feel like I could put everything in S tier because I'm going to think everything is S tier. So I really have to nail down. Do not overdo it. Do not overdo it. The first one here is a tough one already. So the first one we got from AI now here is Genuine. Powerline. Genuine's a real person. Powerline's from the Goofy movie. For people that haven't seen the Goofy movie, Stand Out, Eye to Eye. Those are the two big ones. I believe it's Telvin Campbell is the guy's real name that plays Powerline, very much like a Michael Jackson. So this one's already a tough start for me because I mentioned on Sketching Up and probably on this podcast before too, the Goofy movie is like up there for me. I really enjoy the Goofy movie. I think it's a little rushed at the end, but this isn't a ranking of the movies. This is a ranking of the fictional character within the movie. Now, I've always loved Eye to Eye. Magnolia Park has a really, really, really amazing cover. It's probably the only cover on that entire album that's actually worth listening to. For those of you who don't know, a bunch of punk bands recovered a bunch of Disney songs. Um, and that's really the only one worth listening to. But I always loved Eye to Eye. Stand out after rewatching the Disney movie very recently, like within the last couple of months. I was like, oh, I see why this song is so big as well. I don't want to start out crazy, so we're gonna take Powerline and put him in A tier. So we drag him up. So he's gonna be an A tier. I love him. Could move. I guess I can move these at the end depending on where I put other people. We'll start with him in the A tier. Second one is B12. So B12 is from American Dad. It was a boy band that was 12 boys, even though they're not all boys, if I remember right. They have one song. It's Girl, you need a shot B12. I think that's how the song goes. I'm going to put them in B tier because the song, if I remember right, is extremely catchy. Like unbelievably catchy. So they're definitely a B tier. It's the only song they have as well. It's only like a one episode thing, but that's a good pull by AI. AI might know me a little too well. Third here we have Chip Skylark. Chip Skylark is from the Fairly Odd Parents, has a couple of hits from the Fairly Odd Parents, My Shiny Teeth and Me, Icky Vicky. Sure, there's other ones from there as well. Chip Skylark is played by a member of NSYNC. I don't, off the top of my head, remember which member. I could think of the name in my head, but I can't picture it enough to say it out loud. But Chip Skylark, two really good ones. When we did our Unsketching Up a couple years ago, we tried to redo our bracket format, which we did a long time ago. We did a March Madness, and we did songs. And I don't know how far it got along, but Shiny Teeth and Me was definitely in there. And I remember it being a banger. The songs are really good, but they're not like, if I had to compare like the Chip Skylark songs to the Powerline songs, Powerline would then move up a tier if I had to put them in the same. So I'm moving Chip Skylark to B tier for sure. The next one we're gonna do here is the band from Star Wars. The Cantina Band. I was gonna say I can't remember the name of the dun 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 dun. That one. That's gonna go into S tier because today you still hear it all the time. It's used in every TV show. It's used parodied a lot, and it still hits today. People forget Star Wars came out in like the 70s. The original run of Star Wars, I believe, it was like the mid 70s, late 70s, something like that. And that song is still hits today. You can definitely see that song being used in a restaurant setting, which it is in the thing. Like you could go to a restaurant, that song would be playing in the background. You wouldn't be shocked. Next one here, we have Mordecai and the Rigby's from Regular Show. Mordecai and Rigby want to start a band to impress people. They end up getting like their future selves that are rock stars. I like this. I enjoy the episode. The song they do is pretty good. For anybody, by the way, there probably won't be a D tier. This might be a C tier, though. Unfortunately, Mordecai just can't sing. And the song is fine. I enjoy it. I think C tier is perfect for this one. Next, we have Greg Universe from Steven Universe. So Greg Universe is Steven's dad. He is he was going to be a rock star, gives it up because he falls in love with who Steven's mom is. So he gives that up. He still plays guitar and stuff, but he has a couple of songs, I think. I know for the fact he has the one where he's playing, I think it's called Comet, but he might have another one as well in the show, I'm saying. I think this one goes into B tier. I'm between B and C, so I very much like his character. I like the song that he plays on the stage a lot. But kind of like Mordecai and the Rigby's, like his singing voice isn't amazing, but I think the song is catchier overall. So let's start them in B. If it gets a little crowded, we'll move that one down. This one might also go into S tier. I don't want to have too many S tiers, but the B sharps from The Simpsons, they have one song. They won a Grammy. I think they're the only one in here that wins a Grammy. I can't tell you. Well, in the show, we'll get to a couple others in a minute. But that's one of my favorite Simpsons episodes. So that's why it kind of shoots up the ranks. It's basically the story of the Beatles. And they just kind of use their own fun and games for it. Like they have a member gets kicked out, they become this huge sensation, all that stuff. And the B sharps because of obviously B sharp, but also B sharp. I want to put this in S tier. I think it's really good. It's a quartet, which is much different from everything else on here so far. We'll start with it. Is it better than the Cantina? I don't think so. So we're going to start with an A, and maybe it can move from there. Now we have Hannah Montana from Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. I think this one goes into S tier because the songs from Hannah Montana, it went to A. Go up one more. The songs from Hannah Montana all are really good. Like they could stand alone. Like she has albums that stand alone as Hannah Montana herself, but also like her music from that show created one of the biggest superstars in the world singing wise. So yeah, I think that's an S tier, 100%. The Archies from Archie. Old heads might get mad. I think I might also put this in C tier. The reason it's definitely on here is because they had a top hit as like they weren't a real band, and they still had like a top trending hit, which only maybe Hannah Montana had one of those. But like when the Archies was going on, like the charts were just different then. You know, like the charts were different then. That's the thing with music overall too. Like there weren't as many things to choose from. It's almost like TV. There weren't as many things to choose from. So everybody listened to the same thing. So this was a very popular TV show, it's a very popular comic, and now it's a song that comes out by the band and it becomes big. The song is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna keep with C tier. If y'all want to complain in the comments. I'm keeping it C tier for now. Next one is Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm putting that. I think that's got to go in S tier. So when you think of Alvin and the Chipmunks, a lot of people think of the theme song. We're the Chipmunks. That song, and it's catchy, and it's a good theme song, and all that stuff. That's fun. So we did an episode of Sketching Up. It was Joe Brown and I did an episode of Sketching Up, and we talked about Alvin and the Chipmunks because they have won multiple Grammys. Like I think it's 5 Grammys or something like that. Alvin and the Chipmunks. If you want to really know what I just was saying about the Archies, Alvin and the Chipmunks won 5 Grammys. So like music was different back then. Way different. Charts, awards, they were all different back then. But so when we were doing that, I listened to some of the other covers they did by like with the Chipmunks, and I was like, you know, these aren't actually bad. You know, usually when you have like a high pitched squeaky voice and you're like, we're gonna do this, this is gonna be our shtick. It's like, kind of annoying. This one isn't. This one is pretty solid. This one's pretty solid. I'm gonna drop them to A. They'll be A tier. A tier. I don't think this should be S tier. Oh, they won't let me drop them. They won't let me drop them. Can I bring in a new one? I can, but I can't drop them down. Oh wait, if I hit this, will it drop it? Well, if I can't drop it, we're stuck where we are, but yeah, they won't let me drop it. We're going to say A tier, but the graphic's going to show S tier. I'll try to drop it later, or we'll just know it's A tier. Is this just for show? Like, why can't I click anything here? I can move the Archies. I can move this. I can't move S tiers. That's so strange. I can move A. I guess when you're locked into S, you're locked in. All right, well, doesn't matter. We're going to go A tier for them. So still the only 2 S tiers. I'll put my little cruiser over this for people watching. We got 2 left. So we'll do the Cantina Band and Hannah Montana are S. Powerline, B Sharps, Alvin and the Chipmunks, A. B12 from American Dad, Chip Skylark, Greg Universe, B tier, Mordecai and the Rigby's, and the Archies are C tier. There's 2 left. First one is the beats from Doug. I don't remember much about the beats. I don't really remember much about Doug overall, but I do remember this song. It was called Killer Tofu, I'm pretty sure. And it went, Killer Tofu, oh, Killer Tofu. They were supposed to be the Beatles of that universe. Catchy song. I'm going to put them in C tier. I think the Archies, they're not better than the Archies, but they're also not worse. So, last one. This may be the only D tier, but it's Squidward from SpongeBob on the clarinet. The reason he's got to go into D tier is because, like, the whole point of him is that he's bad at the clarinet. So if I don't put him in the lowest tier, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense not to put him in the lowest tier. Like, that's the whole point of Squidward, is that he's not good at the clarinet. And we need someone in D tier. So that's going to go to D tier. All right, so let's do a recap of it all. Let's see if I want to move anybody. I don't think I will. So D tier is Squidward from SpongeBob, staying put. C tier, Mordecai and the Rigby's from regular show, staying there. The Archies from Archie, staying there. The Beats from Doug, staying in C tier. C tier is locked in. B tier, we have B12 from American Dad. I like that. That's a good spot. Chip Skylark from Fairly Odd Parents. I think B is a good spot for him as well. And then Mr. Universe from Steven Universe. I think B is fine. I think the songs are catchier on his than they are from anyone in C tier. So that's the tier he's got to be in. A tier, we have Alvin and the Chipmunks, even though on the graphic it doesn't say it. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Powerline, and the B Sharps. I like that tier. I don't think anybody should move. So S tier, the Cantina Band from Star Wars and Hannah Montana. Funny enough, the only two real ones are the ones that are in S tier. But what are you going to do about it? Hannah Montana became a global icon. The show is still as popular as ever. They just did the 20th anniversary or something like that of the show. And the Cantina Band, whether it's still in Star Wars or made fun of, it's still like just as popular as it's ever been. So that's my list. If you don't like it, tough cookies, because that's what the list is going to be. And that's how we're going to do it. So there's the list. If you see it, I'm not repeating it. Go back and listen. Anyway, let's get to the actual interview that is part of this whole thing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you enjoyed that, let me know in the comments, because I would love to do more stuff like this. I would love to do these like tier lists or more fun ideas like this to open up the podcast, to try to bring more to the show than just the interview. But the interview is the best part. The interview is the best part. So let's get to Kate. Let's get to the Comicpalooza. You're going to be able to see the in-person. By the way, I don't even think I mentioned this is an in-person interview, so that's going to be awesome. Let's get to Kate Pentecost. Let's roll the credits. Roll the intro. Roll everything. Thank you for listening. This is Mad Props. Okay, thank you so much for being here at Comicpalooza. It's in our background, although you can't really see it because the window does not want to show it. We've tried many times to do that. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the podcast.
I am doing great. It's the third day of Comicpalooza, biggest convention in the South for pop culture, so it's always a good time here.
Yes, my producer / cameraman Will came in and has not been to one of these, and he's like, "This is huge," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's 3 stories." Wait till you see. There's 3 floors, not even just the one.
They always get great guests. They had Patrick Stewart one year, absolutely amazing.
This
year
amazing.
We've got a lot of guests from The Matrix. Before that, we had the cast of The Boys. So it's really a great place to be.
I did see that. I was disappointed I wasn't at that one because The Boys just ended too. Did you see the ending?
I did not. I have not. But I've seen a lot of Boys cosplayers around.
Yeah, it literally just ended 2 weeks before recording. Something along those lines, and now it's over for good. And I definitely had opinions. I'll save them when you watch it. We could talk about how it ended and stuff like that. But so how long have you been coming to Comicpalooza?
I've been here since since 2011 or so. I went to college here, and so I would start off doing some of the literary programming back when I was pre-published and going to the University of Houston here for creative writing. And then I just sort of got involved with a lot of writing nonprofits. And so I'm just here every year.
Yeah. They keep inviting you back. They keep
Yeah, I
asking
know.
you back. They
Every
want you
year.
back every year. So tell us a little bit about your background.
So how far back do you want to go?
Tell us when you were born and what it was
Okay,
like.
so I was born in an abandoned cathedral. Not really. I wish I was, though. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be an interesting story. Hey, no, if people don't know, that's how it starts. You got started, and then 10 years, people are like, oh, is that true? And then 20 years is definitely true.
Yeah. So I am from a very, very rural area. So just between Shreveport, Louisiana and the Texas border. So the woods. I came to Houston for college
Mhm.
for creative writing. I always knew that I wanted to write young adult fiction. So I would go to sleep when I was 12, like reading Writer's Market and highlighting everything in it and learning as much as I can about like the publishing industry. So by the time I came to college, I already knew pretty much how it was going to go. I went to, as I mentioned, the University of Houston's creative writing program, which I believe is second in the nation at the moment. So really, really good. I went to Vermont College of Fine Arts and majored I got my master's in writing for children and young adults.
Okay.
So I write young adult fiction, young adult fantasy. And my first book was Elysium Girls, which was published the exact week that we all went into lockdown.
Good old 2020.
Yes. So I was a 2020 debut. Super fun. And
Yeah,
cool.
I'm sure.
And that book is like Weird West, witches, girl gang, demons, all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of fun. And my second book came out 2021, and it is dark fantasy. I suppose like dark cozy fantasy. It's called
Okay.
That Dark Infinity.
Nice.
So those are my two books that are out currently. They are available in hardback, paperback, Kindle, Turkish, and Polish.
And that's like you could just go on Amazon and look it up, kind of stuff like that. That's awesome. Do you are you promoting your book here as well? Like, do you have a booth with your book added, or are you just here as a panelist?
So I'm here as a panelist, and I'm actually here with the company that I work with during the day, Synergenics. So you'll see
Gotcha.
my booth down there as well with
We'll
the
stop
giant
by.
flags.
We'll stop by the Synergetics booth and say hi as well, so we can see you down there. Yeah, it's interesting how many people are here with booths trying to do that, and how many people are just panelists walking around. Like you don't even know they're blending in with the rest of the people. You don't even know who just has a panel somewhere on these 3 floors.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of my friends who are self-published, like they put their heart and soul into it. They have a booth. They do the whole circuit. They do a lot of different things like that. Since I'm traditionally published, it's a little bit different.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of traditionally published people do have booths as well,
Yeah,
but we usually have publicists and that sort of thing. So we don't have to go kind of as hard with it as self-published people do. Like they really have to like really go for it, and a lot of them are able to create quite a lucrative living out of
yeah,
publishing.
yeah. We had someone on from here that's self-published and stuff like that, and they were saying they had a pre-order that hit 70K in sales, and I was like, that's impressive for
That is,
having just a self-published Kickstarter, just kind of going with that. I was like, wow, that's impressive. But
Oh, yeah.
when you hear the story, like, and the artistry and stuff like that, it makes sense. Like when you actually get the background of everything that goes on, and that's the best part about these things. You can put yourself out there and let people see that haven't seen you before. While we were down there, this guy comes up, his kid wants to buy the book. The dad goes, oh, you self-publish? I have a mobile bookstore. I want to have you in, and gives him a card. I'm like, that's awesome.
really
Like
cool.
that's why I love sitting in the background. Like I'm fly on the wall watching this stuff. It's amazing.
It's just a really great place because there are so many different avenues toward sharing your art with the world now. And it's a really great time to create art.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you started doing a lot of stuff with literature young. So you knew you wanted to be a writer right away.
Oh yes, very early.
When what hit you that made you know you wanted to do it? Was it like a certain book you read? Was it a movie you watched?
I think it was in 5th grade. I would create my own books like on car trips and that sort of thing with like spiral notebooks, and I would draw to illustrate. And one of my teachers was like, "Wow, you have a real knack for description. Like you should be a writer." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Maybe I will." And so one day I was like, "Okay." I had this idea that sort of came into my head. just fully formed one day, and it's been a really long time trying to figure out who the characters were, to write it, to learn how to be a writer. And then it just sort of happened. And now it's sort of like an ingrained part of myself that I can't help but do. So.
Do you do what they say with musicians, where everything you see becomes part of a story? Like something you see, you're like, oh, that'd be great for this, or oh, I could put this in the story. Is that kind of how your mind works?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And music is actually a big part of it. I find that I can't really create a book until I have a kind of like a piece of music that really fits it. So most recently there was a song by Bird Talker, Better in the Morning, which kind of inspired my latest like horror novel that's set in my hometown. So
Who is Bird Talker? What kind of music are they? I've never heard of this band.
I really don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like folkloric, mystical, I suppose.
Okay. Bird Talker
But
is an awesome name for a band, by the way.
yeah, but very like southern sounding. It's
Yeah.
like this book is very rooted in, of course, Carthage, Texas. So it's I don't know, it sounds very Southern Gothic. So
Okay.
this book that I'm working on right now is Southern Gothic horror.
Okay. And this is the one you're currently working on.
Right.
You'll have to tell me a little bit off air because we don't ruin books on air. We don't ruin books on air.
Yeah.
So when you're out at Comicpalooza, do you make a lot of connections? Do you meet a lot of people that you can collaborate with and stuff like that while you're here?
Oh, yes, definitely. So I met someone earlier this weekend, and I think we're gonna collaborate to create an alternate reality game together.
A game.
Yeah,
Oh, get
yeah,
into
an
the gaming
ARG.
space.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
excited about it.
So what made you want to go into the gaming space? Just you met this person, you're like, that sounds cool, or you just want to continue building stories in different ways?
Well, I'm really interested in the sort of crossroads between art and technology right now. I'm very interested in the idea of haunted uh, online spaces and that sort of thing. So I've always wanted to create an ARG, and the person I met is a front end developer, and I was like, hey man, like we just kind of started talking about things, and I was like, would you be down to like work on this with me? And he was like, hell yeah, I would love to do that. And we have a cool venue that's a semi abandoned building that I think I want to try and set it in.
So are you a big video game person?
Not really, honestly, but I do a lot of like online reading. I don't know. I'm very interested in ARGs. The I Love Bees one, that was I believe an advertisement for Halo 2, an ad campaign for Halo 2 was really, really interesting.
Okay.
So I want to kind of see more of how art can kind of develop in these new areas.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the video game space is a good place to do it because there's a lot of people that can develop these days, and it's a very story driven thing now. Like I feel like when they first came out, it was very like gameplay based. Like Mario doesn't have a story.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just
you
jumping
know,
around.
yeah,
Woohoo!
even better. Tetris doesn't have a story. You're just
Yeah.
putting blocks on top of each other. But now with how games have developed in the later, like, you know, the Resident Evils or Last of Us is a TV show now, like, because
Yeah.
the story is so good and deep that it's very story driven. And it's interesting to see someone that creates stories for a living to go over to that space because,
Oh,
just the creativity is the same but different at the same time. And you get to have a whole different creative space in your mind for something like that, which is really interesting.
and I really want to layer it into reality as well. So, like I like the idea of geocaching. Do you know geocaching?
I do not.
So it's kind of like
Enlighten.
a scavenger hunt. It was like an early 2000s thing. I don't know if people still do it, but you would go and you would like hide something. You would like maybe bury something somewhere, and you would have the lines of latitude and longitude. You'd put it on the internet, and somebody would go find.
Oh,
your
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
and
know
they'd
what you're
replace
talking
it.
about. Yeah.
So I would like to do something like that and sort of interweave narrative, physical spaces, and online spaces together,
Yeah.
and have like a whole collaborative situation where you follow a narrative into real spaces and online spaces.
That was a big plot point in Ready Player One.
Yeah, I want to, and now is a great time to do
Yeah.
so much with it. We can now.
Yeah.
So I think it's really exciting.
I tried to read Ready Player One a long time ago, but I always find myself moving around doing something, whether it's this or my day job, or I like to be active, so I go run and stuff like that. I was never able to sit down and do it. So I just decided when I run, audiobooks. That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to do is audiobooks. So I finally got to finish it. And man, the book is so good. The book is good. And it makes me rethink the movie as well. Cause I'm like, oh, the movie was good. But now that I read the book, it's like, not even close. Have you read? Have you watched? Do you
I have
either of
not.
those?
I have not. It's on my
It's
list
excellent.
though.
It's excellent. I think there are definitely some writing points that could have been better. Like that, the way some characters are written, but like the story of it, just right up my alley, right? Right up a Comicpalooza alley for sure,
There we go.
with the video games and the pop culture and stuff like that. So going into video games, doing literature, what other avenues do you think you want to do?
Um, maybe music, maybe I don't know. I want to do everything while I am alive. I want to try everything. Because why
Have,
wouldn't you?
have you composed any music before? Do you play any instruments, anything like that?
So I'm a vocalist, but I know a lot of other musicians and I'm trying to sort of learn how to produce music online. So
Okay.
I'm always trying to do something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel that. Like I said, I'm always there's something going on. I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to figure out what's the next move. Like what can I do next or something like that.
I'm really into like strange instruments. I've always wanted to play a theremin or a waterphone.
Okay.
Did you know what a waterphone is?
I think I do. I don't know what the other one is, but I think I know what a water phone is. Explain it and I'll tell you if I actually do or not, if I lied to your face.
So these things kind of look like upside down jellyfish a little bit.
Okay.
So they're kind of half a dome with different tines, metal tines coming upward, and you play them with a violin bow. And you know that scary sound for like
Yeah, I was gonna
scares
that
movies?
that's where I thought that's what I thought
Right.
they were.
I want
Yeah.
one so bad. Just so I
Yeah.
can like kind of walk around in the shadows and be like, nah, make a scary sound.
just just one note. You say the
Yeah,
one note.
yeah.
Oh, it's just that.
At my corporate office, like whenever I see somebody like hanging out in the break room alone, like,
Oh yeah, they're gonna love you. They're gonna be like, yeah, definitely block that website so she cannot get one of those and walk around the office. What is the other one you said?
a theremin.
What's a theremin?
So a theremin, like you know those kind of 1950s sound effects, like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
actually like play them using like electromagnetic energy and
Oh, I know.
yeah,
I know what that is
I want
too.
one so bad.
I guess I just don't know the names of these things, but I do know what you're talking about. So half a point. Yes,
I just
half a
want to
point.
play weird instruments, man. I don't,
Yeah. Well, the weirder the instrument, the more niche the market is for it, right? So
yeah.
like you play a weird instrument, there's a better chance people will see you doing it because not as many people are doing it. You get
Also,
the niche markets.
you just look like a wizard whenever you play a theremin because you're like,
We gotta dress like one too. You gotta
yeah,
dress like a wizard. I don't think you can do it without doing it. I don't know. Not an expert over here, not on any of this stuff. But if you're asking me, if you look like a wizard, you should dress like one as well.
I have to get a beard.
You'll have to get a beard. You'll have to grow out a beard.
Definitely.
Yeah, so start now. So music is something you're doing. Do you already sing?
I do. I do.
Are you in a band or you just kind of do it to do it?
I'm just gonna do it to do it. I was raised in a really musical family, like the Von Trapp family singers or something. We all play an instrument or sing, so it's kind of
What kind of music do you sing?
I do a lot of I like blues, so
Okay.
yeah,
Is that what you grew up on? Or is
yeah,
that just like what you
blues,
find
gospel,
enjoyable?
country, that sort of thing. Like I'm from rural Texas, so like of course, it's just what I kind of gravitate toward.
Nice. Is that something you want to do more like more like out there? Like you said, you kind of just do it. Do you want to do it more out there? Do you want to like be in a band? Do you want to perform in front of people and stuff like that?
At this point in my life, I'm kind of saying yes to everything. So sure.
Nice. I've always performances are always that thing. Like I've always wanted to do something in front of people, like this kind of podcast thing. I would love to just do it in front of a crowd because there's just a different energy to it. Like right now it's relaxed, it's calm, it's like cool, but having that energy behind it is just a whole different thing. Like even we just did one from someone's booth and like just the energy that you when people are walking by just looking and paying attention, it's just like that different energy. So I feel same thing, like going out and singing in front of people or being behind a desk and writing, like it just brings a different energy and brings a different creativity to you as well. Like when you're doing something, even a podcast, like there's different creativity, there's different things going to flow through your head because of the crowd. Like you're just going to feed off that energy and really
Right.
be up and going.
It's collaborative. It's like that's one of the reasons that acting for the screen and acting for the stage are so different.
Yeah.
Um, I used to love acting on stage. Like when I was in high school and college, I did a lot of theater, and it was just the feeling is unlike any other.
Yeah.
The crowd is sort of behind you, you're playing to them, and it becomes like a collaborative energy
Yeah.
that I think is really valuable for art. And I hope we don't miss out on it in the future with everyone kind of staying home and not going to the cinema, not going to the theater, that sort of thing.
I I have it in good authority. People still go to theater because I know people that are in local theaters that still they sell out because of the show that they're in and stuff like that. So thankfully, we did not lose that one.
Thank God. That's so encouraging.
Yeah, movie theaters like like for me, I am very much I don't sit still. Like it's very hard to sit still. I can't believe I do podcasts because like you'll sit there and talk for whatever, but I can't sit still. So movie theaters like paying $20 because prices have gone up so much to sit there. Like I have to really know I'm going to enjoy it, which is not a good way to go into a movie because you never know. And I feel like that's part of the reason like movie theaters aren't doing as well. Not only movies are getting a lot longer, but the price to get into a movie theater in the first place, it's like you're already paying $20 for the stream. You may as well wait 2 months and
Yeah.
you may as well just wait.
And that's kind of a thing that a lot of brick and mortar businesses are dealing with. Just trying to get people to leave their homes.
Yeah.
Like right now, nobody wants to go to the grocery store. They want to order their groceries
Yeah, just
online.
get it delivered.
Nobody wants to go to the movie theater. They don't want to wait for streaming. So everything has to sort of to adapt, it has to become an experience.
Yeah.
So
That's IMAX, like not 3D. What's the other one? But the immersive experiences of movies are very big right now. I heard the F1 movie in theaters was going to be 1,000 times better than outside of theaters because it immerses you. Unless you have that set up at home, which most
right.
people don't have an IMAX set up at home.
Yeah.
It's just you're going to be immersed in it. It's going to be a different experience than when it comes out later. Like it might be a good movie still, but it's not going to be the same movie. Like you have to go to the theaters to see these movies, which is interesting. I also do think it's interesting movies are getting longer with less people going.
Yeah.
Like I get why they're longer and stuff like that. You want to put more into a story, but it's you would think they would shorten it up. Like, guys, it's only like 60 minutes. Come on out. Like
Yeah.
you can get out here and be out in an hour. Go into the mall, get dinner afterwards because they're all malls, all those theaters. Yeah, go get dinner afterwards, and then it's more for everybody. Malls are dying too, actually. Maybe they're not malls.
Uh, yeah. There's a dead mall close to where I grew up. I'm interested to see what they turn it into. Because
Yeah,
like all these spaces, I mean, it's a time for adaptation at this point.
yeah,
So you got to be creative. You got to be entrepreneurial, I suppose.
yeah. There was a indoor football league that plays in a mall.
Oh, nice.
Like that's what they converted it to is of indoor football. It's strange to then watch and you're like guys running that past like a hot topic, like because it's out there. The reason I know this is because there was a really big clip of a guy that returned a kick, jumped over the fence, went into like a smoothie center and chugged the smoothie.
Chug the smoothie and came
chugged
back.
and
There we
then
go.
went
All
back on
right.
the field and played. But it's
Awesome.
like it was just so interesting to see like first of all, they're in a mall. It's just so interesting to see football in the middle of a mall. But then, like, went to the smoothie thing. He's running past the hot topic. Like, that's what they have to become, though, because, like you said, they have to adapt to whatever's gonna come in and wherever they're gonna get paid. There, we went to a mall in Dallas for like a card show, and we're walking around. And no stores are open. There's only like limited stores.
Mhm.
And like, but there's all these people with their booths outside, and we're like, what's going on? There's a sign that the next day the mall was closing for good. Like, this was it. Like,
Oh, wow.
tomorrow it's done. It's gone. Just that one card shop is going to be open from now on because it's like a big card convention center thing. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, if you're a business that's still in there, you need to figure some stuff out because this is no longer a spot. But I think malls also did it to themselves because they charge so much more than they did when malls first came around because of big box stores coming in. Well, is it Macy's and Sears and stuff? And Sears even went out of business, but
Yeah.
they came in, made all the other stores need to pay more because so many people are going to these big box stores, and then all the little ones left. And now, what do you have left? It's crazy to see big malls. Like you said, there's one dying by you.
Mhm.
Big malls just no longer in existence.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So do you think people are losing sort of collaborative like in-person spaces, or do you think they're just shifting to different areas? So like where people used to meet up at the mall, maybe are they meeting up at like pickleball courts? Maybe are they meeting up at some other place?
I sure hope they're meeting up somewhere else. Unfortunately, I'm not young enough to hang out with the youths, but I hope there's somewhere, and I hope they're meeting up and being friends and stuff like that. But yeah, like for even when malls were a big spot to meet up. Like everybody would meet, you'd meet at the mall or you'd meet at the movie theater, which was
Mhm.
usually in a mall or something like that. I think that's probably still happening. It's just at different spots. I play a lot of basketball and it's nice to see like right around 3:30, 4 o'clock, you'll see a bunch of kids coming in and it's like, all right, they're all meeting up here. Like this is their meetup spot. So I don't know where it is, but I'm hoping there is.
I hope so.
Yeah. I guess I can't keep up with the Utes, just not there. But I do hope they're meeting up somewhere. I don't know, small towns, like if you have a small town and you have like a mall and it's no longer there and you don't really have much else, like where do you go meet up? Do you just go make trouble, don't you?
I
Those are
mean,
the
I did.
troublemakers.
Like I was always urban exploration.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I guess
That
I
was
would do
you.
like rural exploration. Like I would
Okay.
find like weird abandoned houses and stuff in the boonies and go like sneak into them and
Yeah.
walk around and film horror movies with my friends and that sort of thing. And so yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I would do. Yeah. I think I would want to do more urban exploration.
That kind of stuff is so fun. I did it too. So I'm from New York, but I'm a little bit upstate, maybe 40 to 60 miles outside the city.
Okay.
And we have a bunch of stuff like that. I know the biggest one for us was there was an abandoned ski resort,
Oh,
like
nice.
complete ski resort, completely abandoned. And then there was another one that was another resort that was right by my house that was abandoned. It was this big resort because they had a golf course that used to be PGA level golf course that closed down, whatever, semantics. But the thing about going into those wasn't about like the danger of like the floor might not still work or
Mhm.
whatever. It was the homeless people living in there that
Oh,
were you didn't know were there, and then all of a sudden you just hear someone coming at you, and it's like, yeah, it was all of them. That's where they all go because like a resort, it's
hmm,
just a bunch of
yeah.
empty rooms.
Of
Like
course
you
you go
just,
there,
yeah,
definitely.
that would be the first place I'd go to. Like maybe there's no heat or whatever, but it's an empty. There's a bed. There's a bed right there that you could take over. So that was always the big thing. But I did that a lot too. We did that. There was a abandoned minor league baseball stadium when I
Hmm.
was young.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
which is
Okay.
really cool. I grew up playing baseball, so it was really. I actually played at that stadium before it went abandoned.
Oh, wow. So then you got to see it before and after.
I did. I did a short film on it. I don't know where that short film lives anymore. It was called Baxter Stadium, and I had like a lot of my coaches and stuff all played there. They were called the Catskill Cougars, and a lot of my coaches and stuff played there. So I interviewed them, and it went. I have no idea what happened to it.
So
I,
how long have you been interviewing people?
interviewing people like
Yeah, I
this.
like this.
So I started in college. I did college radio, and I just did, as a disc jockey, but
Okay.
I would bring people on, and they were usually pretty cool names, especially for college kids. I was in college from 12 to 15. So I'd bring on like Waka Flocka. I'd bring on
Okay.
Hannibal Buress, H. John Benjamin when Archer was like at the top. By the way, Archer, did you watch Archer, the show?
Just a little bit.
It just disappeared though.
It really
It was
did.
like in pop culture for a long time, and now it's
Yeah.
just gone.
It disappeared from public consciousness.
It
It's
really
very
did.
strange.
Yeah, is it because they were called ISIS for 4 years? Probably.
Maybe so. Maybe
Oh,
so.
that show was great. But we had like him on at the top. The big event we did was, and now, mind you, we're all lower to mid 30s. So this was a big deal for a lot of people. We had Aaron Carter come on in person and do a meet and greet.
Okay.
And we announced it the night before. It was a live showing. Like you can come in, meet and greet. You could stand behind the thing, like, and watch the interviews and stuff like that. We thought maybe a couple people. There was like hundreds of people. It was like a window like this, just flooded all the way to the street
Wow.
because it got sent out and all the people wanted to meet him. There were signs like there was a dorm room behind. It was like I Heart Candy and like all this stuff in the background. Like I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Okay.
So that's what we did back in college, and I really enjoyed doing it. And I wanted to be a broadcaster forever, but like depending on the medium, again, we talk about dying things. Broadcasting is really just not as prevalent as it was. If you are, I want to be a sports broadcaster or a radio broadcaster.
Mhm.
You have to be top of the top to be a sports broadcaster, or else you're working for like ESPN Online and you're just not, there's no real future in it. Or if you want to be a radio broadcaster, there's only like six actual channels now. Like they'll say, you're listening to WMV Minnesota, and then it'll cut to some show from LA.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like, or
Yeah.
some show from New York. Like there's really no actual local radio talent. There's very few and far between now. So there are two dying medias. And this is what I really wanted to do. So I started podcasting for different websites and stuff. I'd interview a lot of sports. I worked for sports websites and stuff.
Mhm.
And then around 2019, 2020, I started this podcast that you are currently on. And I would just start bringing in guests. It started with, I used to do a documentary series called Offstage,
Mhm.
where we would follow for one full day an up and coming artist. They were all up and coming. A couple of them were a little bigger, but there was no one like everyone's going to know kind of thing.
Mhm.
So when I started it, I wanted to kind of be the same thing. The first to be two guests. First one was someone up and coming. Second one was someone well known. That was not sustainable. Every single week, getting two guests and doing the interviews was not sustainable.
Yeah,
So
it's very difficult.
then I cut it to one. It was called Offstage Radio or something like that. I'm like, it doesn't really make sense. I also didn't like the name from the beginning, but I had producers and they're like, you should just go with that. It's already a brand, blah, blah, blah. So then eventually I was like, I need to change the name. And I had one name that I'll never say again because it was awful. And then someone said Mad Props or something like that. I'm from New York. Mad Props is a very New York kind of thing. So that's when the name got changed. And the whole format kind of got changed. I had Julius Thomas, who played Hamilton on the Traveling Hamilton when it left Broadway and started traveling. He's a good friend of mine now, actually. But it was very Q&A. And then he came on. I started asking him some questions, and I had all these comic books behind me. And he goes, real quick, is that this comic? And for the next hour and a half, we talked about comics and not Hamilton. I did have to ask a Hamilton question. Like I said, I had producers at the time, and they're like, if you don't ask a Hamilton question to Hamilton himself, I swear. But after the interview, Julius goes like, man, this is a breath of fresh air. Like, all I do is talk about, I go on, I talk about Hamilton or like following this or this or this.
Mhm.
And I never really get to talk about like things I like to do. And from that moment on, it became like, let's just have a conversation. Like, we could promote, but like, let's just talk about things. Like, it's
Yeah.
much easier for people to do than having to sit there and talk. Like, I'm sure I like promoting my own stuff, but there's only so much you want to do it over and over and over. And the questions all become the same. One of the big things now for these Comicpalooza ones, I didn't really get to do it because it's a quick turnaround. But one of the big things I like to do is I scour the internet for podcasts, interviews, anything you've been on, and I avoid all the questions that have been asked. And I come up with my own stuff because I don't want to ask the same thing you could just Google search.
Mhm.
Usually I have a whole thing. I try to like find hobbies and all this other stuff. Like, we're doing that live on air. What are some other hobbies? But usually I'll send out something that says, like, give me some hobbies, give me some talking points, and then I'll research it myself. And that's how this all started. I don't remember what the question was. How long have I been doing it?
Mhm.
Over 10 years.
There you go.
Over 10 years. Just gave a whole history for everybody that already listens to the show. Thanks everybody for listening. But yeah, it's been a while and I do a lot of it myself. I do have someone that helps me produce, but I do a lot of guest reach out, editing, recording, all that stuff. Do it all on my lonesome.
I think it's a pretty interesting thing to do. Like, not just back in talking to the person from Hamilton about their interests instead of, necessarily
Yeah.
just Hamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, I think you sort of have to talk to artists about their own interests and what sort of makes them tick in
Yeah.
order to understand their art.
I've made a lot of connections now that like I'm still connected with. Like, I still hear from, there's a couple from 2020 I still get like Christmas cards from, which is just
Aw.
amazing. Like,
That's awesome.
because these are people that I don't consider myself in the same realm of anybody that comes on my podcast. So like the fact that they want to still keep in touch, and like a lot of the voice actors and actresses, they invite me, like they'll be like, oh, I'm going to Comicpalooza, like I'll get you a pass, come on out. There was no one actually at Comicpalooza, but we're here, so I thought I'd use that as an example. But they'll be like, I'll get you a pass, come on out. And then I go out and like Rob Paulson does it every time he comes to Texas. Carlos Alazraqui does it when he comes to Texas. And it's like cool that they were so pleased with their appearance that they want to see me just in the real world. You know what I mean?
There you
Like,
go,
they
hang
enjoyed it
out.
so, yeah, they enjoyed it so much that they want to come say hi. Or for most of them, they're not in person, so like they want to actually meet me in person because they enjoyed that time so much. They're like, oh, I want to meet this person now that I'm near them. And for the most part, they reach out to me, which is like probably the coolest part. Like, I don't go like, hey, I see you're in Houston, I want to come say hi. Sometimes I do. Most of the time I get an email like, oh, I'm doing Collecticon Houston, come on out and say hi and hang out for a little bit. So
Yeah.
there you go. You got the whole history of the show
There we
in the
go.
middle of the
Thank you.
show. No problem. So what kind of going back to
we'll do Comicpalooza. What panel are you hosting out here? And when did you already host it?
I did.
You
So
did.
I was on one of the horror panels for the love of horror.
Okay.
So I got to talk about sort of what makes horror work, different horror books, horror films, that sort of thing. Since my next project is horror,
You do a lot of horror, and you have that one coming up. Are you a big horror film person?
it sort of depends. A lot of the horror that I like is more psychological,
Okay.
and paranormal, not necessarily the gore. It's not that
Okay.
I don't. It's not that like it grosses me out or anything. It's more. I kind of like to see how the suspense is built and like kind of see all the different pieces of the stories together.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite horror films is It Follows. I think it does an amazing job of building suspense. Have you seen it?
I have listen, ask me any movie. There's a good chance I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I'm
really? Not a
so
film guy?
bad. No, that's not it. I'm
Oh.
just so bad at seeing movies. I'm so bad at seeing TV shows. There's TV shows that I love.
Mhm.
I'll be 6 seasons behind. The best time for me to see anything is on a plane. I
Okay.
download it
Yeah.
and watch on a plane. I'm telling you, I can't sit still. My girlfriend loves to say I'm the weirdest video game playing guy because I'll play for like 30 minutes. I'm like, "All right, I'm done." Most guys will play for like hours
Oh
and hours and
yeah.
hours. I'm like,
Camped out.
I'm done.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm bored of this already. And then I go run or play basketball or do clean the house. I do something. I just
Mhm.
can't sit still.
Oh, same
I have
actually.
so much energy just bottled up and I have to be doing something at all times. It really happened because I have a significant weight loss journey and all this energy came back when I lost a bunch of weight. I used to weigh 450 pounds
Whoa. Okay.
and
What'd you
now
do?
that I just ate better, worked out. Really, I was going to Gonzaga to be a baseball coach before I got back into videography.
Hmm.
And I looked at myself and I'm like, if I look like this, no Division 1 athlete's going to take me serious as a coach, especially as a GA. So I wanted to lose some weight to try to get into it. And I can commit myself very quickly and very just all in. And I have pretty good discipline. Like I'm very disciplined when I try to do stuff. Sometimes it breaks and stuff, but usually if I'm all in, I can go all in. And so I started going all in and I was working out a lot. This is right before COVID. Like,
Hmm.
so I'm still working and stuff, but like I started eating a lot better, which was one of the biggest things for people that want to lose weight is just watch the calories you're intaking because that's
Hmm.
usually what a big part of it is. But then I really started working out like multiple times a day, each one an hour, like up to like 6, 7 hours a day. I'd be working out in some way, shape, or form. And then the first like 10 pounds came off a little easier. So I'm like, all right. So then I do the next 10 pounds and the next one. And I hit a lot of stagnations. There's a lot of plateaus when you're trying to lose that much weight
Hmm.
where you're going to be stuck at a weight you could be stuck there for 3 weeks at the same weight, but then you're going to kind of break it and you're going to start going down again. And that's probably how I was able to do it is I didn't know the plateau was coming, but I just kept pushing myself to get past it. And then at one point, I got myself down all the way to 217. Right now, I'm about 245. So I went up a little bit, but I lost the first 100 in the first 3 months, first lost 200 in 6 months.
That's a lot. That's
Uh,
extremely significant.
yes, very, very big. And then I picked up running. Like I said, I listened to audiobooks. I never used to run. I run a lot now, play a ton of basketball. And yeah, just became a huge part of my life. But when I lost all that weight, the energy just like spiked all the way up because when you're that big, you burn a lot of energy just walking around. Now all that weight's gone and I have all that energy still like moving 450 pounds. So now it's like I got to keep doing something because all that energy has just been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do
big
you
weight
feel
loss.
more authentically yourself?
Oh yeah, I feel so much better. I'm so glad I did that. I always say I wish I did it earlier in life, but I did it at a really good time. I started at 26, I guess that would be. Wow, yeah,
Mhm.
that's 2020 was a while ago now.
I
Sheesh.
know, isn't that weird?
I started 2019, so I was probably 26, 27 years old. And I just feel so much better now. Like I just feel better overall. I still have problems with the way I look, but that's just going to be my own mental thing I have to get over. But comparatively, I just I hated the way I looked when I was that big. I hated being that big. I hated always being the big guy and all that stuff. So like it feels so much better now to not have to worry as much about that because even though sometimes I'm still the big guy, I'm not that big guy. Like I'm not that kind of person. And I'm glad that these healthy ways have become a big part of my life as well. Like I don't enjoy running, but I
Mhm.
do enjoy going out there and running. And
You like having run.
yeah, I like going for the run. Like it's a nice mind clearing thing. When I
Mhm.
do it in the morning, it's like it shows. my energy's up, I just feel better. But playing basketball has become a huge I never played until I started losing weight, and then like I played a lot. I played baseball my whole life until my first year of college. So like
Mhm.
I was an athlete for a long time, and then when I stopped, that's like I was always big, but that's when it like another level, another
Mhm.
level of big.
Yeah,
So,
I currently actually work for a healthcare company.
oh
So
yeah.
Synergenics down there is testosterone, hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, and peptides.
Hmm.
And so I am senior copywriter there. So my team is down there. Like this is our first time at Comicpalooza, but usually those sorts of companies sort of target like the gym bros, the wellness crowd, but like testosterone replacement therapy and hormone replacement therapy. I mean, everybody has hormones.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really realize that, like, once you hit 20, your testosterone levels decrease by 1% every year.
Yeah.
And right now, it's sort of decreasing faster than normal, usually due to high cortisol levels because of these unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Nobody's having a good time right now.
Yeah.
So that sort of shows up. And a lot of men sort of see this first as like fatigue or like holding weight around the middle or just brain fog, not really feeling like themselves, and then they often attribute it just to aging or stress or that sort of thing when it really could be like a medical thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that people are more sort of in tune with their health and like looking more into like weight loss, hormone therapy, stuff like that, because really your time on earth is limited. You want to have the best possible time that you can. So you don't
Exactly.
want to have any physical barriers that are
No, exactly.
your own making.
And
that sort of thing.
that's kind of where I came from as well, is like I just want to be healthier. I just want to feel better and stuff like that. We were talking about the youth. The youth are very much into gym culture. Like
Mhm.
a lot of young teenagers, 20-year-olds, like they're into that health and stuff like that way more than I was a kid. When I was a
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
no one cared about that kind of stuff, and that's where I got to where I was. Like,
We've we've had to turn a few different people away, but a few different people, young adults who are interested in like TRT, and I don't know, that's interesting to me. Like our limit is like 24 for testosterone replacement therapy. But they like want to get on it, which
yeah,
is interesting because like the older men, they're like, oh no, I have to be on TRT. It's like maybe like kind of a shame thing for them,
yeah,
which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But the young folks are like, we want to be on TRT when it like boosts our testosterone. It's so interesting how that's kind of changed over the years.
yeah. I understand what you're saying with that. Like, it's kind of an old culture thing of like, oh, I have to go on testosterone. I'm not a man kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I feel lucky to not have fallen into that as I'm in my mid 30s now, and I've never really fallen into that like less of a man, more of a man thing. Like,
Yeah.
so
It can be a shackle, I think. It can be
it's like
a
why
very
guys don't go
limiting
to the
thing.
hospital, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't go to the doctor because they don't want to like feel like, so they don't want something to be wrong, because nothing can be wrong with you. You're a man. A man can't
Yeah.
have anything wrong, but it's
And they do
worth
everything
doing.
for their families, but they don't really realize that by not taking care of themselves, they're actually like,
Hurting your family.
yeah, you're hurting your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah,
So,
100%. How'd you get into like the medical side of things with the copywriting?
I started out in hair care, and I was just doing B2B sort of stuff, and I found this company, and I don't know, I'm naturally interested in pretty much everything. It's very difficult for me not to be able to find something extremely interesting about whatever it is that I'm writing about. And as it turns out, I really like working in this industry because I get to learn about how to help people, and I get to learn about how like different peptides work in your body, how testosterone works, how hormone therapy works, and there's just so little education around it
Mhm.
that I really feel like more people kind of need to be cognizant of this kind of thing, and I think
Yeah.
everybody could have a better experience with life in general.
Yeah, when I was losing weight, people would be like, "Are you going to put it on social media?" And I was like, "No, this is for me. Like, I don't really care." Sometimes I think like, "Man, would this podcast be bigger if I just start pushing myself, had a huge following?" Because not everybody, you have to have a huge following to do anything.
Mhm.
But when I first started, I was like, "No, I'm like really doing this for myself." When I posted something, it was like because it was a big achievement. Like when I did my first like 6-minute mile running, that was a big achievement. When I lost my first 100 pounds, like I posted like maybe a story about it, but nothing
Mhm.
crazy. But what really shocked me is like there were people that would reach out to me that were my friends that I maybe haven't talked to in a while. They'd be like, "Yeah, I saw your post, and like, maybe I'm down 20 pounds now because it like inspired me." I was like, "Wow, that's like That's kind of crazy. But being in tune with your health is like, it just makes you feel so much better overall, as mentally and physically and all that other good stuff. So you're doing good work over there.
I'm trying.
So you have so you have one book coming out. Do you have a release on when that book, the horror book, is coming out?
No, because I started writing it as a young adult horror, like because I've worked in young adult this whole time, but the book itself, it's sort of cosmic, weird, and Southern Gothic horror, which together have sort of like a slower pace than is natural for young adult. So I think we're going to do it as adults. So I'm kind of in a rewriting phase where I am sort of upping the viscerality and the gore and I'm slowing it down at the same time to have like sort of a creeping, like woven through sort of horror to it. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes.
What books do you have out right now?
Right now I have That Dark Infinity and Elysium Girls.
Is there anything else you wanna shout out before we wrap up here?
Not right now. One of my friends, oh my goodness, look up Autumn Krause's work. All of her stuff is really interesting. She has a book right now it's about her grandparents' experience. They were actually put into internment camps back in World War II. They were Japanese. So The Gods Will Sing Our Song is her book. So I'm going to plug my friend's book.
Yeah, plug your friend's book and make sure you get her books. And Kate, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate, for being here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Will, for recording and help with production. Again, you can find us on social media at Mad Props Podcast. Go ahead and go to the description and find it there. Also, get into the conversation. Join the Discord. There is a link in the description right now that you can join the Discord. Go do that because we are going to have fun in there and you can join the conversation, see upcoming guests, all that stuff. If you want to stay updated, you're like, so many things, social media and YouTube and this, boom, all right there. Go find it. The panel from this Comicpalooza will be coming out soon. So definitely, if you're not following the YouTube, go subscribe because that will be coming soon. If you join the Discord, you'll get them both. You'll get everything that comes in. But definitely pay attention to that because that'll be coming soon. Also, a mic'd up from Comicpalooza will be coming soon. So you're not going to want to miss out on any of that. That's coming on the Mad Props Pod, at Mad Props Pod on YouTube, Mad Props Podcast page on YouTube. We also have like a clips YouTube that we just started. A little something I'm trying. I don't know how long it's going to go for, but clips from previous episodes are being uploaded there now. So you can go and see a bunch of clips from all these other episodes. These aren't just like shorts. These aren't these 60 seconds. They are full clips of full segments from episodes. Go ahead and check that out. That is Mad Props Podcast Clips on YouTube. You can find it featured on the YouTube page for Mad Props Podcast. So if you're already following the one page, just go click follow on the other one, or hopefully you'll just find us eventually one day. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you being here. We will be back for another episode of Mad Props next week. Cannot wait. Thank you so much. See you later. Subscribe, please. Goodbye. Deuces.